Hey, so as promised, I am here with the reading of The 7-Day Mental Diet by Emmett Fox. And this is quite short. Anybody who's done a mental diet without reading this, I'm not sure why, because it's a few pages long. But so I'm going to read this to you and maybe interject, maybe just tell you what my experience with it has been. And I actually think I am going to go on a mental diet for 7 days, or I'm going to try. I've never made it beyond, I think, like the second or third day. Anyway, let me just read this to you and I'll explain why that is, if it's not obvious. Okay, The Mental Diet: How to Change Your World and Your Life in 7 Days by Emmett Fox. It seems like wherever you go and wherever you look, people are talking about diets. Just standing in line at the grocery store, you'll notice every magazine has some type of article on diets. The headlines say, "How to lose 10 pounds in time for summer. 5 exercises to trim your tummy." The most important diet you can undertake is the mental diet. This is the one everyone in the world needs, and yet many will not partake of. This diet is so profound that it influences everyone around you. The way our bodies work is based upon the food we put into them. The mind is no different. The thoughts you allow yourself to think and the topics you allow your mind to dwell upon influence your environment. Everything in your life today is conditioned by your habitual thinking. The way you have thought in the past has led you to where you are right now. Knowing this, what are you going to do about it today? Are you prepared to go on a mental diet? The state of your life is in your hands, or should we say, it's in your mind. You choose the state of your finances, whether to be rich or poor. You choose the state of your home, whether happy or sorrowful. The state of your employment, whether fun or dreadful. The condition of your life in the future, tomorrow, next week, next month, and next year will be conditioned based on the thoughts and feelings you choose to have today. Frankly, when you understand that by changing your mind, all conditions change as well, then you truly get a life by design. That's why we say, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. This is one of the keys to a prosperous life. To change your home, your employment, your happiness, your dating life, your whole life, you only have to change your mental diet. The diet I am asking you to go on is a diet of thoughts, pictures, and images. A diet that will change your environment just by changing the thoughts you allow in your mind. We know you cannot be happy and you cannot be healthy. You cannot be prosperous if you are in a bad mood. You can, however, be depressed, be a victim, or feel hurt when you are in a bad mood. Have you ever been in a great mood and somebody walks in and they have a gloom cloud around them? You feel it. They are not on a mental diet. They are allowing their thoughts to take them anywhere. They think thoughts that are not good for them or for us. In short, if you want your life to be happy and prosperous, then agree today to commit to this mental diet. For 7 consecutive days, you agree to carefully select your thoughts. We know you cannot control the first thought that enters your mind, yet you can control the second one. We know that at first this is going to be challenging, exceedingly challenging, especially in the first few days. And if you persevere, you will find that it will become rapidly easier. The experiment will become a thrilling hobby that your entire family could become involved in. Now you already know that many people, including yourself, work at being positive from time to time, much like the person that goes on a food diet and then loses weight and then immediately gains the weight back because they were not conditioned to eat correctly every day. This diet can be like those diets. If you do not commit for 7 days straight, you can work at a thought every now and then and have sporadic efforts, or you can commit today and get fabulous results that can continue to condition you for the rest of your life. You can be on this diet every day for the rest of your life without harmful side effects. As you continue on this diet, your new thought habit will lay a foundation within the first week. By the 7th week, you will have built a habit that will be challenging to break. Here is the way the diet begins. Make up your mind to devote the first 7 days, 1 week, to watching your thoughts. Wake up in the morning and think of it being a great day, no matter what happens. You must not allow yourself to dwell on a negative thought, not even for one single moment. You must not allow your mind to dwell on any thought that is not positive, constructive, or optimistic. This is discipline that you may find strenuous. And if you find yourself being unusually tired in the evening, then you know it is working and you are altering your life for the better. What changes did you see? Know with certainty that you do not have to change conditions. They will change automatically just by watching your thoughts and images you place in your mind. As you embark on any diet, you know that your mind plays tricks on you. You crave the old food you used to partake of. This diet is no different. You will find your mind wanting to go toward the negative, wanting to say something or gossip about someone or something. Sometimes it will be exhausting to fight the urge you have just to say one thing, much like just having one taste of that delicious cake when you were on a food diet. So if you make a false start or fall off the wagon, you must stop and start again the next day. You must count every time you dwell on a negative thought. And if you do find yourself dwelling on the negative thought, then you start the diet over again. The goal of the mental diet is to go for 7 straight days without having a negative thought. It may take you the entire 7 weeks to finally get to 7 consecutive days of not dwelling on a negative thought, going into judgment, or talking badly about something or someone. Let's be clear about what I mean. Negative thinking is when you are dwelling on failure, disappointment, or trouble, any thought of criticism or jealousy or spite or condemnation of others or yourself, or any thought of sickness or accident. In short, any kind of limitation or pessimistic thinking. Any thought that concerns you or anyone else that is not positive or constructive. This diet is about not dwelling on negative thoughts. In fact, not even entertaining them. Once again, we know that you cannot control the first thought that comes in your brain, yet you can control every thought after that. Disregard them and replace them with a positive thought. Some negative thoughts or comments will come from other people, a newspaper, a television, email, or telephone. These do not matter. Just disregard them and do not dwell on them. During your diet, do not fear negative thoughts. Do not give them any power at all. Any negative situation that you must deal with during this time will not affect your diet, provided that you don't dwell on it. When someone at the office or at home talks about things in a negative way, do not ask them to shut up. Allow them to talk. Just don't accept what they are saying. Remember, it is your choice to allow someone to affect you and your mindset. Of course, it will be very helpful for you to remain on your diet if you can avoid meeting people you already know are negative. People who get on your nerves or rub you the wrong way. If you cannot avoid them, then take extra discipline to listen and not take it in or contribute to the conversation. One last thing. Everything in the universe is made of energy. When you begin to stir the energy in your life, especially positive energy, you may bring some negative to you. This is just the universe testing the positive energy in your life. So be prepared just in case you find more things going wrong than usual. Much like when you are on a food diet, everyone seems to be offering you sugar-filled treats, sodas, etc. Hang in there and keep on the diet. Be steady and do not tell anyone you are on this diet. Keep this tremendous project strictly to yourself. When you have completed 7 consecutive days successfully, then you can tell the story to anyone. 7 straight days of positive thoughts with no negative in your life. If you make it to day 6 and then dwell on something negative, you must start the diet over. That seems a little harsh, doesn't it? 7 straight days is what it takes to successfully complete the diet. You have 7 weeks to accomplish this task. If you slip off the diet, you must wait 1 day, 24 hours. 24 hours to begin again. This is why you have 7 weeks to accomplish this diet. Commitment and discipline are key. As I'm reading this, I'm wondering if this is the original text because this was written before email. And I don't recall this part about 7 weeks being in the original. I wonder if we've just read a bastardized version. Is that politically correct to say? I wonder if we've just read an altered version. But anyway, I've never done 7 weeks of this, and I've certainly never made it 7 days, but I have made it like 3 days, and that alone was enough to make a huge difference. I will link to the video that I made about the experience with that below. I think there might be 1 or 2, but it's worth doing if for no other reason then you can sort of give yourself not just like permission, but you're actually trying to do something. You can sort of purposely give yourself a break from the negative thoughts you have. That's the first thing. So that's just nice on its own. If you can sort of justify, I don't have to think about this thing I feel negatively about. But the other thing is, it really demonstrates for you how much you are actually choosing your thoughts. When you realize that you can choose not to think about something, it's major. If you can get to that point, I think you're ahead of most people. I don't think most people get there. I think most people's minds are a wild stallion their entire life, completely and totally dependent on external circumstances, and they never realize that you can choose where to put your focus. I think one of the greatest things that you can learn is, especially if you have an experience in your life going on that you don't like, it's that you don't experience it when you're not thinking about it or looking at it or focusing on it. When you learn to move your focus away, you basically control what you experience. And this, I think, really gives you a big insight into that, a big experiential insight into that. A couple of my friends have done this also, and they've reported it being kind of a negative experience for them. Like a lot of anger and stuff would come up. It was the opposite for me. It was, for me, like a huge burden was lifted. It was almost like, for me, negative thoughts were not being suppressed, but they were being focused on via a sense of obligation or need or something. So for me, my experience was great. For other people, maybe like the empty space where certain negative thoughts used to be opened up, a door for some other stuff to kind of come up. And so that's also a possible side effect. But I would recommend doing it. I think I'm going to start doing this right now, and see if I can make it a full 7 days. I'm going to go ahead and just say, I'm not committing to anything for 7 weeks. I fully expect to fail the mental diet at some point in the next few days, but to receive the benefit of the few days of being sort of committed and focused on catching all those negative trains of thought before they even get started. So I hope that you want to do it and that you do it. I will link to my video below that went into detail about some of the stuff that actually happened. There was sort of a major childhood thing that I had been wanting to figure out, that once the negative chatter stopped, all of a sudden the answer was there. That was pretty exciting and relieving. If you have everybody has these. If you have experiences from childhood that you vividly remember, you remember those out of the sea of experiences that you had because they changed you. Something in those moments was impactful and shaped you. And so if you have any of those, especially if they're negative, you learned something in those moments. You decided something about yourself. Hopefully it's a good thing, but it's almost always a bad thing. You decided something about yourself or the world. You got something drilled in there via these memorable childhood experiences. So pay attention to those. That's just a side note, not really related to the mental diet. Other than that, I had some healing basically happen during the mental diet. So go forth. I'm going to do this. So I will have follow-ups for this coming up in the next few days. And I'm going to read a few more. I think I'm going to do some more Course in Miracles shit for tomorrow, Sunday, like the Sunday sermon. Anyway, have a great day. I hope that you enjoyed this. Bye.